Hello, welcome to Derailed. In this episode, Ray and I cover the anime controversy that is Sword Art Online. So basically, for anime controversy, we take 5 arguments, quote unquote, that were repeatedly, or that were constantly repeated after every episode of SAO, and we got these arguments from Twitter and episode reaction, discussion, review on YouTube. So Ray, do you want to go ahead and start with our first argument that we have here that was made against Sword Art Online?
Kirito's overpowered character in GGO. The reason why this is a stupid argument is because he has a past now that shows that he is good at these games. And not only that, but they used, I mean, it was kind of an excuse, I guess you could say, but the stats being transferred helps a lot with, like, showing, you know, why he's good at these things already, even if it is right away. And then they gave him a sword on top of that. It's like, everything you're used to, have it.
Right, because
it makes sense, at least.
Right, because you want to kind of stick with his character as the swordsman, right?
Yeah.
And especially with SAO, where it's all guns and stuff. And then especially, why do we want to see him kind of overcome a new game? You know, it's going to take up a lot more time, for one thing.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing too, though, is, if you really think about it on a leveling aspect at the very least, he was playing at, you know, if you want to go back to the first season, the first, you know, VR MMO. So, and he was, like, you know, one of the top players, if not, you know, the, obviously, but if he was doing that originally, then kept playing after all that, as we saw with Alpine or whatever, then he's gonna be, like, max level no matter what, basically. Statted out, all that stuff, so when stats get transferred over, that gives a lot of leeway to be like, okay, well, I guess it works then, I guess.
Right.
So,
and we don't want, like I said, we don't want to go through this whole leveling thing again when we already have a story that we need to get off of.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool, I guess, if, like, this was, like, a reboot of something from, like, a while ago, but, you know, Sword Art Online wasn't that long ago, so in this case, I feel like it was a better decision to do something like that anyways. But I haven't read the light novel, so I don't know if that's actually how it worked, but I would assume it's how it is, just because it is a bit of wasted time and repetition. But I mean, the only thing I could possibly see bitching about was how they sort of used, like, a racing game excuse, and we never saw any of that for how he was able to control the ATVs, I guess is what they're more like.
Yeah.
That's about the only one I could understand, like, being a little bit like, okay, yeah, you're just good at every video game, huh? Not only the ones we've seen you play.
Well, there are people like that, like you.
To an extent,
for example, you are like the real life Kirito when it comes to video games, to be honest. Like, you go through FPSs like it's no big deal, and then you go to an RPG like it's no big deal, and then you play StarCraft like it's no big deal, and Hearthstone. It's like, really, Ray, is there a game where I can beat you at? Word games! That's
about it, but I mean...
Yeah. I can beat you at word games.
You should have been able to beat me at StarCraft, my computer's laggy as shit. But
whatever.
Yeah, so that's really just a useless argument because they gave enough reason for you to be able to believe it that it shouldn't really be affecting anything. And when it's an established character in a shonen, come on, I mean, like, this is like this is basic here. I mean,
this is season 2. You're not gonna...
No, he's fucking the Goku of Sword Art Online. He doesn't fucking lose. You know,
yeah.
If he
why would you watch a shonen of a guy who's always losing?
You know why Goku was able to die? It's just fucking mystical Dragon Balls. There's no mystical Dragon Balls in here that can bring him back to life. If there was, he might die at some point.
Yeah.
But it's based in a somewhat realistic setting. So, he can't die. He's not gonna lose everything. Every fight he's been in has been like life or death. So you can't lose. Like, you can't let him lose because then the story's fucking over.
That's true.
Like, it's that one is just a completely pointless argument. So, do you want to go on to number 2?
number 2, the pacing is too slow. For the most part, the show is pretty good with pacing. There are some exceptions where some of the scenes are slower, but for the most part, how the story is being played out, if you look at it as a whole, the pacing is pretty average.
Yeah, the only time I really could complain was I forget what episode it was. It was kind of early on though, but with the nurse where he's like crying and talking to her and stuff like that. It's like that whole part sort of felt unnecessary, and it felt like the wrong character for it to be happening with. I get it's like, you know, nurse, you know, environment where you might feel safe to do something like that, but it didn't feel necessary, and it did feel a little drawn out. That's about the only scene where I really felt like they were pushing it on stuff like that. That I can think of on top of my head anyways.
Yeah, but when you're talking about pacing of the show, it's pretty good. Like, it's normal. It's of a normal series, so I don't know why everyone's saying that's too slow. I mean, the first season was too fast, and now it's too slow. It's like, you're hot and you're cold. What are you? You know, a Katy Perry song going on over here. So
they're trying to give more detail, especially at the beginning. And I can understand you saying like the beginning in general might have been a bit slow, but at least it was for good reason, and they're trying to fix the problems they had. They may have created like slight new ones with it being a little bit too slow, but it's not enough that I really could see it ruining the experience of the show, especially when you know what's coming up ahead. You know what to expect with this anime because of the first season. You know it's going to get faster, you know it's going to get, you know, more action, and they're just setting the groundwork for all that to happen.
Right. So yeah, that's argument number 2. So Ray, why don't you go ahead with number 3?
Kirito is a girl / looks like a girl.
And
I got nothing
yeah,
to
this
say,
was
it's
repeated.
stupid.
This was repeated so many times on Twitter and on YouTube, and it's like, who cares? You know, first, I mean, if you want to have some kind of reason for it, it's, for me, it's so Death Gun wouldn't realize that it really is him. You know, even if like he decides to be like, he wants to look like his actual character.
Yeah.
If that's like the only reason, because if he looks like a girl, then Death Gun might think that he's actually a girl.
The only thing I didn't really like was where it was like, oh no, but it's actually a male avatar. I was like, just let it be a female avatar. It doesn't fucking matter. That is irrelevant to everything, because we already know who's behind, you know, the character and all that stuff. And the thing too is like, you know, why else would it matter? Like, what does it change besides visually? Do you not like a female heroine?
They don't like
female heroes.
They don't like seeing a female in an all-male dominant game. What are we, in Call of Duty or something? Okay, like, are we in the gaming community?
Yeah, I
what is this, like 2000? Is this like 2010?
That one is just a really useless argument that has no basis, and I could maybe see being a little annoyed by it, but this should not be anything that could ever possibly ruin the show for you in any way, because it's so easy to look past, especially if you have an open mind and aren't like, you know, like, I don't see a point that, like, how it could ruin the show. It could only throw you off a little bit.
Right, and once you're used to it, it's just Kirito. That's all it is. At the end of the day, it's Kirito.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, that's already like, yep, that's just who it is. Like, you know, I'd like it if it was, you know, an avatar that looked like him actually, but, you know, I can feel that his character in this avatar, I guess you could say, however you want to put it, so it works. It's coming through, so it works.
Yeah. Alright. I think this one's probably the funniest argument, number 4. Nothing happened this episode. Now, the first time I actually heard someone say this was actually during episodes 7 and 8. Now, I don't remember what happened in these episodes per se, but I'm guessing it's when they're already in Gun Gale and starting to kind of get everything started, right? Like with the bullets of bullets, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that nothing happened this episode, I don't know what you're basing this on, to be honest. I don't know, just when I heard this, I was like, what? Are you watching the same series as I'm watching?
Well, people said that a lot in general, and here's something I'd like to point out. One of the things that they screwed up with the original SAO was not exploring the world enough. And before they got into, like, Battle of the Bullets, and even when they did get into it, they let you see a lot of the world, even if it was only in short glimpses. Because in all the matches, it's had, like, different layouts, all that stuff. You know, he got, you know, shown around by Stenon or whatever, around the whole sort of world, I guess, of Gun-Gale. And you got to experience a lot of what it has to offer. It's a little different because, like, you know, there's not 100 fucking levels that are all different, which made it that whole concept was a lot cooler, I feel, but you got to see a lot of what it had to offer, which is something that people wanted and didn't get from the original. So, to say nothing happened, no, something did happen. They gave everybody what they wanted, and now everyone's bitching about stuff like that. You know, sure, some time has been wasted and everything, but there's never an episode of anything where nothing happens. This isn't fucking Lost. Like,
I like that series until season 3. I'm just gonna straight up say.
I don't know.
But that's just for another day.
You know, there's
Lost,
progress being made. Even if it's a little, progress is being made. You literally can't say nothing is happening or you're just lying. And that's what most people seem to be doing, is they're just hating on it so much that they're exaggerating what's actually going on. And if they, you know, didn't hate on it as hard and were being more honest and realistic with what's going on in the show and why they feel it's
like
bad.
Like a real critic? Like a real reviewer would?
Yeah, if they did that, then I could get behind what they're saying. I'd be like, okay, well, that's your opinion. That's perfectly fine. It's these people that are treating it like a 1 when it's, at the very least, this is a 5. At the very least, this is a watchable show. If anybody could come up to me and literally say this is an unwatchable show, it's so bad, please tell me what the fuck you are watching that is so much better than this, because the standard for Sword Art Online is very high. It is, the story is its weakest point, and even that's it, the very least average.
And what you just said kind of brings into the 5th argument made against Sword Art Online, which is Sword Art Online is shit. And this was repeated multiple times over all mediums on the internet: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, MySpace, I don't know. But this is what they would say, right? And no, like you said, it is an above average show. It's not, I've seen a lot worse. If you're saying that it's shit, you're basically putting it on the same level as Pupa, which was complete shit.
It's just a stupid argument. It doesn't make any sense, and you're basically lying. And I'm not even gonna say that it's like great. This is not a 10 out of 10 anime, but at the very least, I'd say I'd at least give it a 7 out of 10 if I had to rate it. Bare minimum. I mean, I haven't seen enough to actually fucking rate it yet, though, or to bitch about anything. Like a lot of the stuff people bitch about too. It's like, wait and see what happens before you start throwing out opinions.
A lot of the things that went on about Sword Art Online were very nitpicky things. And for me, if you nitpick little things like that, you're just as bad as people who ignore the problems in an anime. You're the same as people who ignore problems in an anime. The people to those of you who are only looking at the bad things, you know, you're exactly the same. And what Ray said, if an anime is not a 10 out of 10, it's not a 1 out of 10. In fact, on AniList, I think this one is rated at a 79 out of 100, which is not bad. I think on Mal it's about an 80.
Yeah,
which is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what the general audience is saying, who are you to say that everybody that rated that is wrong? Well, not everybody, obviously some people didn't rate it very high, but who are you to say the majority is wrong? Who are you to say all of them are stupid? You know, it's just, don't say something's worse than what it is, because all you're doing is hopping on a hate train for something that doesn't deserve as much hate as it's getting. It's, like I said, it's not the best show ever. It's not, you know, changing fucking anime or anything like that. But it's good. It's enjoyable. I will watch it every week. And most people will. And all the people bitching about it still are, which makes no fucking sense. If you really hated it, you wouldn't watch.
Right. If you really hated it, but you wanted to kind of give your own opinion about it, watch the whole series, and then give one video opinion on it.
Yeah, see,
that's all it is.
The thing though too with anime is most people end up dropping shows, right? And if you really weren't enjoying it at all, you would have just dropped it. But no, people that are disliking it are still going with it because, oh hey, I'll just hop on the hate train and get the haters to view it. And, you know, screw everybody that's liking it. Which you can see on these people that openly hate on it. They get a lot of dislikes because they openly hate on it to such an extent. You know, it's just, stop pushing it to such a big level. If you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. That's your opinion, and I'm not going to take that away from you. But stop lying to people and saying something is a 1 out of 10 when it's at the very least average.
And just saying that a lot of these people, they remind me of, see, we were part of the Call of Duty community. It reminds me of, you know, people commenting how bad Call of Duty is over a Call of Duty gameplay. So,
and at least I understood that somewhat because there's things that can happen that'll just make you rage, and you're just saying it out of rage.
Right.
There's not that excuse in anime, because if that's something that's happening to you, you are going in there with the goal of disliking this show, and that's what I feel like so many people are doing. They went in there with the goal of not liking it. They didn't give it a fair shot. And a lot of people too that are hating on it, they just wanted that action right away. It just, people flip-flopped all over the place, and it's just, it's been such a funny thing to watch, because everyone's just, like, going back on what they said before, and, you know, treating it like it's something that it's not, you know, when it comes to how good or bad it is. And some people are overhyping the show too, to be quite fair. But I've seen a lot less of that than I've seen of people just overly hating on it. Most people are like, yeah, this was a good episode. No, it wasn't great. 8 out of 10. You know, just move on. Like, that's about all there is to it. They discuss it, like, you know. And that's all there is to it. It's pretty standard. It's about what you'd expect. And if you're hating on it for getting basically what you expected, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing with your time?
I don't know. But that's pretty much all the... Did you have anything else?
I just wanted to put that out there because it's like, it's just trying to speak logic into an illogical argument to make people look at themselves and go, maybe there's something wrong here. Because it's, like I said, it's a completely illogical argument that people are making, and it's just, it sours a community when people do stuff like that, because then you put people on sides.
Yeah, don't turn the anime community into the Call of Duty community, please. We've already been there.
This is the internet. It's going to happen to an extent no matter what. But anime community is fairly clean at the moment. It's fairly in a, I guess you could say, infantile state. It's not really to where a lot of the groups in YouTube are. So don't screw it before it even gets big enough that it is going to happen anyways. Like, you know, you don't, it's like, it's like, oh, I know I'm going to get cancer, but I'm just keep smoking cigarettes to, you know, fucking get it quicker. It's like, you know, you could have not had cancer for 2 years, like you know, but no, just get it sooner.
Yeah.
It's basically what you're doing. You're just creating a toxic environment in the community, and I don't like seeing that. It just annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not needed.
Not at all. But that's pretty much all the arguments we have, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So and we already said our final words, I think. But that is it for this episode of Derailed. If you guys liked it, please let us know. This is our first episode. Let it, give us some feedbacks on what you think of anime controversy. We will have two other segments for this series. So when that comes out, I want you guys to kind of give us some feedback on those as well. But that is it. Don't forget to like the video, and if you have yet to subscribe to this channel, go ahead and press the subscribe button. But that is it for us. We will see you guys next time.